Good evening, friends and foes. Pull up a chair, pop a cold one. It's time to get a tad belligerent. Let's get silly.
All right, guys, on this week's episode, the boys talk about weekend and week shenanigans, plus a plethora of other topics. Then we dive into a wonderfully pleasant, actually, Tom Hanks draft. Hope you guys like it. Here we go. Yee! What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 116 of A Tad Belligerent. This is your boy, T. Wade.
Benjamin Augustus.
And Danny Mac.
That's right, the boys are back better than ever. We have this beautiful plan for the show. We had it mapped out.
Yeah.
Dan organized it, being the producer that he is.
Yeah.
We had an itinerary. We had objectives to do to make sure we were ready for that itinerary.
Well, what happened?
Unfortunately, take a guess, somebody fucked it up.
Oh, who did it? Who was it? Be honest.
Hey, if
Was
it
it
wasn't
Fess-
you,
Be honest. If it was you, fess up.
yeah, fess up.
Fess up. Come on. I'm waiting.
Hand in the air.
I'm waiting.
That's right. For those watching on YouTube, you saw Ben's hand in the air. Yeah, Ben. And I knew Ben fucked up when... So Dan, again, last week, for the record, we always try to be a couple weeks ahead on what we want to do. We had this whole plan. We're going to review Transformers: Rise of the Beast. We actually even, I think, said it at the end of the episode.
Super excited to see that movie.
And Dan even texted us. He said it was like on Wednesday or Thursday. Blah 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 is what we're doing. And Dan and I even had a conversation about it in the group chat about the movie. Blah blah blah. I knew we were all screwed when Ben texted us today, Monday, timestamp. He goes, "Hey, what are we talking about today?" And I said, immediately I knew Ben didn't see the movie. I didn't want to be a big jerk about it and yell at him, start a fight. So I just said, Ben, we're talking about Transformers. And he goes, oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, so he just waited until we were in front of all of you to...
Well, yeah, no. Public shame is our punishment.
Yeah.
Again, arguing in a group chat doesn't satisfy the will. I need all of our P1s and listeners to know what happened. What happened?
See, what had happened was Dan's my movie partner.
Hey.
Dan didn't call me because of
Yeah, because Dan is now a functional member of society with a job.
And
So
as you guys remember last week,
Yeah.
Today's society, you can be a functioning member in society.
Oh, actually, a very prudent member, or not prudent, but a critical member of society.
for sure. And as you guys know, or as you guys remember, last week, air quality, especially Thursday,
Yeah.
was poop soup.
What was the show?
And just like all weathermen, they're wrong. They were calling for it to be worse on Friday, and it was actually
Some
better.
weatherman.
It was definitely better on Friday. Thursday, being outside was actually eerie.
Mhm.
The way it just all looked in the sky and it looked like clouds and everything were down low and the fog or the smoke
The
going
haze,
across
yeah.
it, the haze. And then no one was outside, obviously because you weren't supposed to be. But I was. And the day I decided to go outside, it's the worst day.
I golfed Wednesday, which was the first of the 2 bad days.
Yeah.
And I was actually, I made a funny Insta post. I said, transfusions and losing golf balls, the perfect remedy for hazing. Anyway, we're all being badass tough guys, the 4 of us, being these 3 guys I work with. No, dude, first 3 holes were dude, this isn't that bad. They're over exaggerating. By the 13th hole, one of the guys just goes, I'm breathing a lot heavier than normal. We're all yeah, same. And I started again with me and my worst lungs and lungs.
Should not be outside.
I was the group that says you might die, that's me.
Yeah.
Bad as fuck.
Let's go
1.5
play
lungs,
AG. Fuck it.
drink a lot, but no, dude, so not only that, so no, we golfed and everything because we had a half day. And again, the last 3 or 4 holes, definitely you felt it. But one of the guys we were golfing with shot an 80.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, by far career best. So we went out and celebrated. We went to Fed Hill and
That
celebrated.
dude needs to buy a 1940 Buick and just start polluting the ozone.
That's
every golf tournament he's at.
just sucking carbon monoxide.
Dude,
Dude.
out here.
You
That's
need
hilarious.
to just start
I didn't even
forest
think about that,
fires.
but that's funny.
He needs to start forest fires.
He should, right where we're playing.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to talk about that. You might be onto something. But
He said, call Elon, get him a flamethrower, wear it while he golfs, set a tree on fire as soon as he drives, breathe in the fumes, drives, keeps it going, lights another tree
He's
on
going to have a
fire.
bad front 9 and the back 9's going to be set ablaze.
No, so we went. It was actually funny. So then we went to Fed Hill, and we kind of bar hop. Basically, we hit up McGurk's, Magruder's, the Latino, the Spanish joint, Benito's, Cross Street, Pub Dog, all those places. And then we're kind of getting after it a little bit, and the whole group kind of gets drunk. Except and I'm not drunk, I'm kind of tipsy. And then one of the bars was trivia.
Wednesday night or
Wednesday night.
Okay. So, in the worst of it.
Well, in the worst of it. And again, we're outside in the haze, just throwing back shots. I had because I had 7 transfusions while playing. And then I had easily 4 shots of Jameson, maybe a dozen beers, a bunch of crushes, and a few margarita mixes while bar hopping. So I drank a lot, but it's actually okay. I wasn't drunk at all, really. I was just a little tipsy.
The 7 deadly sin of gluttony. Right there.
Basically. So, again, one of my skill sets is drinking, and it was on display that night.
It's just consuming.
Well, that's
You consume all.
I consume all.
Food, beverage.
Yeah, it's not drinking, it's just consuming.
It's true.
You consume is all.
There's some people can drink, some people can eat, some people can whatever else. You just consume. You're just all
vacuum. No, so they were all drunk. And then they're like, let's do trivia. I go, listen, trivia's a couple hours. We'll do it if you guys are in. Like, yeah, let's do it. And they're drunk. So we play across street on Fed Hill. We are about 20 years older than everybody in the bar. We're so old, everybody's so young. It was whatever. We get to about halftime, they all bail. They go, wait, I'm drunk, I gotta go home. We got school tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. So they all left. So I was alone for the second half.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you gotta go to school tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Gotta teach kids. Him a ha. So I was by myself for the second half of trivia. And we did okay, but whatever. That's not. But then when you get to work the next day, they're texting the group chat how hungover they were. I'm like, I'm fine. They're like, fuck you. Fuck you. You left me. So my midweek hump day was kind of nuts.
Dude, they should have individually bought you. Each person should have bought you an individual.
Oh, actually, one of the guys did buy a beer. So the place we went.
No, I'm talking about the next morning.
Oh, the next morning.
They should have got you. One person should have brought you coffee. One person should have brought you a hash brown. One person should have brought you a
muffin. Yeah.
And put yourself in full breakfast together. Be sorry for bailing, Tyler, and leaving your ass there.
Agreed. But they did essentially buy me a beer because the first round the guy bought, they had these giant mugs. 30-ounce mugs that they filled like a Pilsner, which is delicious. But he bought one for the whole crew, but the whole crew didn't finish it because they were drunk, so I just drank all their beers. So, essentially, they all bought me a beer. So, yeah, so that was, then my weekend was kind of chill, but that was kind of my weird Wednesday hump day. Especially dealing with the haze that I should have been avoiding.
My boss ended up, Thursday, they were like, my boss is real he watches the news and shit, so he's all he'll call things early before and we'll ride out a nothing because he'd rather be safe than sorry in that situation.
So the winter time, you're gonna get caught off a lot.
Sure, especially up in Frederick because they probably snows a little bit more up there. But 11:30, 10 a.m. we get there at 7:38 on every day. 10 a.m. last Thursday, he was like, all right, meeting. So, Smokey the Bear called, and we're fucked. The health and safety guy came through and was monitoring because we're in a warehouse, so it's the huge garage door, so air, shit's getting in. It's not it's there is filtered system in the different rooms because of what we needed for. Mm-hmm. But other than that, in the hallways and shit, it's fucking bad. So he's like, all right, we're calling it tomorrow too, but we're opening up on Sunday if you guys want to come in and get your hours. I was like, all right, bet. I'm not doing anything this weekend anyway. So I got off freaking Thursday and Friday.
What'd you do with your Thursday and Friday?
Well,
I've been to a movie.
I had a bunch of Thursday.
Actually,
I did nothing.
He went to the movie Friday, so
Thursday I did nothing because it was fucking shit outside.
Yeah.
Friday I wasn't gonna do anything, but then I went outside and it was 80 in the fucking.
It was nice. I went to the Oregon on Friday. It was a nice night.
It was just even in the morning and the afternoon. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So I got my oil change. Went and
productive day.
I was saying adulting.
I got a fucking
Adulting day.
huge productive day. Got my emissions done.
Okay.
Me too.
Oh, good. Look at you.
Did it today. I tried to go on Saturday.
We talked about this a week ago.
We talked about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, that's right.
I did it
It's
today.
Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Jesus, Ben.
No, I went and got Katie's emissions done today because I got mine done 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
But I did get someone's emissions done today.
That's someone's admission.
And then I went to the grocery store. Duke's.
That's the most adulting day I've ever heard in my life.
And then I went to see Beast Wars.
And that's right.
And that's where it kind of goes back. Yeah. If only could have come. If only someone came with you.
No, I was busy.
Doing?
Sitting by my phone waiting for Dan to
Oh.
No,
text me to go to the movies.
not true. Not true. Inaccurate.
Friday, I was at home playing Diablo 4.
Okay.
So you were busy. You would not have.
I would have left to go to see the movie, yes.
Diablo 4 though.
I'll say this: I don't know anything about Diablo, but the marketing campaign for it has been fantastic.
It's a big kerfuffle, I heard.
What do you mean kerfuffle?
A big hullabaloo. A big.
Big deal.
A big
It's
to-do.
a big deal.
Well, so the last one I saw
That
was
and
actually
Warhammer 40K. Ultramarines 2 or Space Marine 2 is coming out, right? Video game.
no idea.
Maybe.
Disregard.
I don't play so much
That's not
attention to 40K.
But
Diablo 4, way bigger, guaranteed.
Disregard.
no, but I saw one Diablo preview and it got me kind of excited to play. But again, I don't know anything about the franchise. I'm definitely not buying the game. But it was all these different actors talking to you in like a POV point of view, like will you save us type of thing. And they're like in these horrendous situations, like demons attacking a house, a dead horse, a village on fire, and like a little kid. They go, "Are you going to save us?" And I'm just like, this is gonna be kind of fired up.
Exorcism.
I want to save you, kid. I want to get you out of here. But then I said, Ben's got it.
Yeah.
Ben will save him.
Great game. I played Diablo 2 when I was in like middle school.
That's how like
That's
long.
Diablo 2 was like middle school. Diablo 3 was, I don't know, 2014.
I'm gonna have you nerd out for a bit.
2013.
What's?
And then Diablo 4 is finally now. It took forever.
So I'm gonna let you nerd
let's just
out.
say
Explain
people
why.
were
What's
still-
the reason for
People
the
were still
long?
playing Diablo 2, still today, but they were playing it like hardcore like every day before 3 came out for like 15, 20 years.
Why? What's the reason for the
Diablo
long?
2 was like the first of its kind with like RPG, video games, everything. Your adventure, you're collecting your inventory and getting different items to build up your character.
Sure.
The customization to play between different classes of magic wielder and
And
they're
unlike
starting off
D&D,
with,
there
like-
is an objective and a winner, right?
Yes, there are objectives, winners, quests,
What
all the
is,
stuff you want to go on. There's a final
Yeah.
boss fight.
Okay.
Uh,
Where you fight Diablo, maybe.
Well, what are
where you
people
fight
doing for
Diablo,
20
and then the
years?
expansion came out, and you fought even more creatures.
What are you doing for 20 years? There's
Some
that many
guys,
expansions.
They just like the game that much and hooked on it for that much. They'll take characters to like level 99, as high as they can take them, and replay with multiple characters and do other stuff. People like that game that much, and there's content, and people will watch people play.
I wish I liked something that much.
I get tired of games after a while. Like my favorite game in the world, I can still only play so much before I'm tired of.
Sure.
And that's how I am with. I get that way with video games. I'll play video games. It seems like nonstop for like a month or two.
Once I
And then
beat a
I'll go
game-
2 or 3 games
yeah.
without playing a video game at all.
Once I beat a game, I
Games
pretty
are
much
fun,
stop playing.
Yeah.
Like I very rarely play a game that I beat. You know, like they Call of Duty. Once I kind of beat campaign mode, I don't really play it again.
I don't even play campaign mode on Call of Duty.
I know, and I'm one of the minorities. I know shit.
I
know
would
that.
play at first.
It's
It's I
all
never
about
liked
online,
playing. I didn't
but-
like playing online at first, but then
I'm not good enough for online. That's why I don't play it.
You
I
just
suck
don't
at
get good
online.
enough unless you play.
I know, but that's the thing. Like I'm not patient enough to, because you gotta, especially
I got
now,
a group. Like
people
Jared-
put in years.
Jared was awesome. Like
Yeah.
he was my friend who was the best at Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he
we'd
was
go and play
the best.
online, and Jared would be on your team, and just like you would just try not to suck that badly and let Jared carry you to a win.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I played. I would try to go. My like, KD ratio is just like 1. I try to make sure I get 1 kill every time I die.
You
I try to
gotta
take someone with me.
Right. Where
And I play
Jared's probably
even.
what, like 10 to
Jared's
1?
like plus 25,
Plus
just
25, wow.
rolling. He's like 33 and like 2, and just roll through people.
Jesus.
And we just need to stay even and not suck up.
Can you go negative?
Yeah.
You can go negative.
If you get killed 10 times, don't kill anybody.
Yeah, I'm a negative 25.
Like that's the thing. Like I don't have the.
But with every game,
I'm just as bad as
I just
Jared.
get tired of it after a while. I love sports games, but after a while, you're doing the same thing over and over again. And even that gets tiring.
That's why I kind of like when I do career mode things like that because there's always milestones you can hit. So
Yeah.
that's what keeps me engaged. But you're right. After like franchise, after like 4 or 5 years, I'm kind of like, all right.
It's the same thing. It's no challenge. The best part I've ever had with franchise mode or anything like that, the best time is when you're playing with a group of friends
Online.
in a franchise mode.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I've done Madden franchise and NCAA dynasties with Ray.
When the
And
new NCAA
it's the
game
best.
comes out, we should do
A dynasty.
a
for sure.
dynasty franchise
I'm
together.
in.
Like you get the whole crew together because that'd be awesome.
I'm in.
That'd be a lot of fun.
No.
That'd be a lot of fun.
So, all right. So that's kind of enough. I mean, is there anything else that we want to kind of?
Congratulations, Ethan, my oldest nephew, graduated from high school.
Hey.
He is in
Shout out.
Ocean City currently for senior.
Hey.
Well, hold on, because
Nice.
where do you guys?
36th
He's up in
Street.
Hampstead.
Okay, because I know Howard County's was this past week.
Okay, yeah. So
he's probably this
there
week.
now.
Gotcha.
And I said, have a lot of fun in Ocean City for your senior week,
Yeah.
but don't have as much fun as I had.
That literally. Don't,
It's
not possible,
It's
but
I don't think it's possible.
It's impossible.
I don't think it's possible.
Yeah,
but
They're not
we had
skilled enough.
but
original
if you
four
don't have,
logos.
if you don't have as much fun as I had,
It's
I'm not worried about you.
impossible.
You'll have a good weekend.
impossible.
You'll see.
what
we
we
had
did in the
original
senior
Four
week is a whole
Locos.
other thing. We can't even talk about the
Bro,
pod.
we had original Four Locos.
Yes.
The original recipe was 6 beers, a Red Bull, and a shot of espresso, and that was combined. That's what it was the equivalent of.
Yeah, I didn't even have 4 locos on senior week.
That's crazy.
All my
didn't need
kids, students' kids came back alive. No super drama. That's not always the case. Sometimes there's big
Oh yeah.
people get arrested, things like that.
Yep.
I mean, just kids, it is. We've all been there, we know it. But I always tell the kids before they go down there, don't take a life, don't make a life. And you're going to have mostly a good time.
And you're not cool until you go to your second one.
Oh my God.
And you're even cooler when you go to your third.
No, stop it. Do not do that. No, there's, again, the class before who I was pretty tight with, one of the girls, she plays lacrosse at Robert Morris. And we trained in the summer and stuff. But she told me on last Sunday, she goes, hey, wait, I'm going to the beach this week or whatever. And I kind of gave her the side eye. I go, you're not going to see me. She goes, no, I promise I'm not. Sure enough, Tuesday, all over her Instagram, she's hanging out with this classes. They go, you loser! You don't understand. Like, that's not okay. I don't care who you are. It's not okay.
That's when Tim and I got our ticket for projectile.
For launching projectiles at a lifeguard.
We ended up going back 2008, beginning of June.
Okay.
But like a whole group of us, like me, Ray, Ben,
Nick
Doza,
Doza,
Nick Knopp, Mike Bowden,
Yep.
Tim Fields, a whole bunch of
So
people.
you went back the next year.
We went back for a senior, but we had enough guys where it was our vacation anyway.
Sure.
But we, like, Rachel Dwyer and all those, like Ray Rowe.
Well, they were the year after.
So that's what he's saying.
No, that was 08. That was the year I'm talking about. When
No,
we
they're
got 30.
09. They're 2 years behind us.
Oh, they're 09?
Yeah.
Oh. We met Jake and all them down there in 08.
Yeah, that's the year we met Jacqueline.
Mulligan and all them.
No, Jake's so sad with us.
I know, but like all his friends are 08.
I don't remember meeting Jake down there.
Like
but
Zach Outland
and we didn't meet Zach down there either.
well, they had a house down there that we went to.
Okay. I remember going to Akira's house and Jacqueline. That's where we met them.
A couple streets down was Jake and them's house.
Okay. Well, I didn't go there.
That
to see
house.
them, but-
I
Either way, crazy.
made it an emphasis to not be in Ocean City during that time.
Well, that second year, I definitely lit my face on fire. So
The last day
it was the
too.
last night. It was the last night.
Right with like
I had
8 hours
I had
before we were going
done
home.
successfully
He lights his face
done
on
like
fire.
4 flaming shots that weekend. And the last night there, someone wanted to do one with me. So I poured one for them, poured one for me, lit theirs on fire, lit mine on fire. I said, cheers, let's go. Went to down mine and spilled theirs on the table as I'm this far up. And I'm like, oh shit. And I try to pull mine down and the liquor just keeps on going.
Yeah, it does.
And it hits me in the face and the lights are out, so it looks really cool. So everyone just sees me smacking myself in the face. I flipped the hat off and everything. I had a little bit of a beard at the time. It burned all the facial hair off the side of my face and like half my mustache. I go to CVS, I have like ointment and a Band-Aid on my face. I have a giant Band-Aid, like 10 times bigger than Nelly's on my face for like 2 weeks.
Did I just first degree? Nothing crazy.
I had a big oval on my face I had for a while. I thought it was going to scar, but I guess it was just first degree.
Nah, dude, the clutch thing was he
I
had
put
like
one
a
on
fucking
immediately.
gallon of aloe in his car that he put on immediately.
I went and got,
that
I went to
shit
Rite
saved his
Aid.
ass.
I left immediately and went to Rite Aid.
I thought you pulled it out of your car.
No, I left.
You went to Reddit and got the yellow.
I got all the stuff and bandaged up right away. My face smelled like burnt hair for the rest of the night, and
I mean,
was not fun.
no, I mean,
It was not fun.
so many.
That's the last time I tried to film a chat, by the way.
Just so much shit. See, Eureka's the best, man. I swear to God.
We had a great time.
So many good times. That should be a pod one day, just to see your sweet stories.
Bro,
They call it
first
sweet, by the way.
People were doing
They call it sweet, for the record. It's not senior week.
sweet.
Sweet.
I would have gotten with that. If
Nowadays,
I
it's just whatever. That's what they call it. So that's what we would have called it.
if I was that age, I'd go along with sweet.
Yeah, everybody calls it sweet.
I would have gone along with it.
Yeah.
I would
2007.
have been like,
Sweet.
Yeah, see, exactly.
2007,
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
riding down my pickup truck. I just put her in the back. Sweet.
No, my house was
down the
nuts. So I
streets.
had Green Gold, Curtis Ford. Do you guys know Burlington? Chris Burlington? Chris Burlington was there, and who else? And Matt Harvey. Matt Harvey was in our crew. And that was quite the crew.
Yeah.
So it was like me, Chris, and like a bunch of black guys. Our house got getting randomly checked. Not sure why. Okay. All right. So now again, enough shenanigans, enough just random talk. We're gonna
no
dive-
more shenanigans.
Congratulations, Ethan. Don't get in trouble.
Don't get in trouble. We're gonna dive into the show. We're not doing Blizzard beverages this week. That's gonna be
Draft.
next week. The reason why is because we're doing a draft tonight. So normally we do a draft. We don't do any beverages because the draft kind of takes a little time. But we kind of were talking because we had to pivot because of Ben being a pivot. That's why I sent the pivot gif in there. It was funny. So for again, it's kind of an
I've
easy
never
draft,
seen it before.
one that can easily be done. We're gonna do Tom Hanks. Okay.
Who?
Just saying, you. Actually, Tom Hanks does have a movie coming out very soon. A Wes Anderson movie called Asteroid City, which looks weird as fuck.
It does look weird as fuck.
But Wes Anderson is a very weird man.
Yes.
So I'm gonna see it.
It's
Obviously,
a star-studded cast.
star-studded. Got Scarlett Johansson.
I'm down to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts who's in this movie.
I mean, we don't need to go into it now because
Yeah.
the most
No,
important thing
you're
is that
right.
Tom Hanks is in it.
Correct. So we're doing Tom, and then obviously Tom Hanks did a big movie last year called Elvis and Mr. Otto or
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. Elvis obviously was nominated for Best Picture. He
How
played
big of a role did he have?
he played the manager of
It
Elvis,
was
so a pretty big role.
Pretty big role.
Yeah.
I didn't
didn't know
see it
that
as being
was-
nominated for Best Picture though.
It was a lighter year, and then the guy Austin Butler, I think his name is, was nominated for best male performance. I didn't like the movie as much as the critics, but to each their own. So we're doing the Tom Hanks draft. If you guys have listened to the show before, you kind of know how this works. We draft a movie that Tom Hanks did, one of our favorites. Once that movie is drafted, it is off the board. Nobody else can draft it. We're gonna go 4 rounds, or would you say 4 or 5 rounds? So each gonna have 5 movies on a roster. We'll kind of talk at the end to see who did the best, and we'll go from there. So how do you want to do?
Top 15 movies.
Basically, yeah.
Tom's top 15.
Now, I don't know if all his top 15 will be picked.
No, I'm sure we'll pick some of our favorites from kids.
I'll tell you,
and
so
all
like
that other stuff.
and Ben, you brought it up. Like when you look at like the Rotten Tomatoes order, it is very different than my order. Personally, for example.
Same.
Rotten Tomatoes just
They
goes
got movies
strictly
down
off
at,
of their
like-
percentage.
Correct.
Yeah, they had movies down to like 30 that I'm like, that's a top 5 movie.
So to each other, then you guys
Also, Rotten Tomatoes, it was 1, 2, 3, 4 all
Toy Story. Yeah.
Because
So, now that being
Toy Story
said-
has like a 99%.
Oh, sorry, Dan.
Rotten
We didn't mean to
Tomatoes.
give anything away.
That's right. That was funny. Remember when you yelled at me? You got so mad at me.
This tipping picks is stupid.
What is it? Hey, we're not getting into it.
We're
not
not
getting
telling
into-
everyone that there's multiple
All right.
Matrix movies.
We're not doing. All right, so
I have a way that we're gonna same thing as last time. I have a wheel.
do it.
Yeah.
All right, wheel it up. What we got?
That wheel.
Jesus.
T Wade.
Whoop whoop.
Pick number 1.
No, he gets to choose where.
Oh, that's right. You get to choose where you pick.
1, 2, or 3.
Oh man.
It's a snake draft.
Uno, dos, or tres.
I'll go. I'll take one.
Okay.
I'll take one.
2 or 3.
I don't think I'll look at my
The drama.
I'll take 3.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna be
it's-
different.
TAD. TAD. Tyler Augustus Dan.
No, you said he's
I
on
would
You
third.
say-
said 3 or 2?
You said 3.
3.
Sorry. I have 2. TDA.
TDA. It's not
Apologies.
It's all good. It's all good. All right. So I'll kick us off. The movie I'm going to say I think is going to be on top of everybody's list, or at least towards the top. I'm going to Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Saving Private
That's a
Ryan
good one.
is one of my all-time favorite movies. I
Yes,
love that
super,
movie
super.
so much. Steven Spielberg Art talks about one of it being one of his more favorite projects he's ever done. I just think there's one of the best war movies, probably my favorite war movie of all time
Just
too.
wanted to say that.
There's a lot of dramatic parts about it that kind of gets you engulfed in, especially right at the beginning, the scene where the car comes down the long road to the house and the mother collapses on the porch, knowing she's about to give news of a loved one that died in the war. I mean, that happened in the first 20 minutes, so you know, right away, this is going to be about that. Especially now the movie ends, and it's a really good storyline. Very, very quotable movie. Ton of quotable lines
It's
throughout.
one of the more realistic movies of World War II.
Yeah, I mean, you hear a ton of vets talk about, say how they kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, the D-Day beach scene alone.
There is one
fantastic.
hugaboo, or pick a
Hit me,
line
hit me,
is
hit
that
me.
there's only Americans on that beach. In Saving Private Ryan.
What do you mean? Oh, like after they captured or whatever?
No, in Storm in Normandy, there's only Americans on that beach. There's no other flags flying of any other allies. And they used the wrong boats. They used American boats. They didn't use the English boats that were actually on the channel.
I'm trying to remember if I remember any.
That's like when so I watched a couple YouTube of like
There's always those
of
articles
like
and videos.
Yeah.
True, not true.
It was like an airdrop trooper or like a sea trooper where they were doing like all beach landings, like rating them of how like realistic they were. He gave Saving Private Ryan like an 8.5 out of 10,
Mhm.
but he just made the one thing where it was just like, where's the rest of the allies?
It's funny because I'm trying to remember, and again, I'll take your word for it. I don't remember being flags on anything. Like, they could have been there.
Now the
But I
focus
also
is
know.
obviously going to be the American company
Right.
that lands,
Mm-hmm.
right? But there's stories from a ton of troopers saying that once they got to the beach, that groups were thrown out the window. It was
Sure.
like as soon as you made it up to the thing,
was
people were
chaos.
speaking French, people were speaking
Right.
Italians, people were speaking freaking all types of
Mhm.
shit.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
But it's fucking awesome. It's Saving Private
Yeah.
Ryan.
I mean, one of the better parts about the movie, obviously, you have Tom Hanks, who's phenomenal, but just the cast itself. When you have Matt Damon,
Family.
Paul Giamatti's got a role in this.
Family.
Edward Burns, Van Diesel. I mean, Adam Gold.
Dominic Toretto's in this?
Yes. Ted Danson.
I don't remember seeing a Charger.
Dude.
And then one of my favorite characters was Private Jackson, the sniper. Barry Pepper is the actor's name. And then
Best
Tom
character in that movie.
Tom Sizemore was also great. He unfortunately was a drunk and passed away. But him as the kind of second command, it was just the casting was phenomenal, and just just so many little scenes, whether it's where they're trying to save the medic or when they're in the church the night before, kind of telling stories, or obviously the last stand. Just everything. It was just not a perfect movie, obviously, but it's close to one to get. So
one of the best sniper shots.
When he shoots through the scope.
Shoots through
Oh
in the
God.
tower, shoots through the
So
scope.
good. So
Fucking
good.
sweet, dude.
So so Saving Private Ryan, my number one pick for the Tom Hanks draft.
Sick.
All right, damn.
I'm going a little classic on us. I'm going Forrest Gump.
Yep.
All
Good pick.
right.
That was number 3 on my board.
My first movie for Tom Hanks. First one I got introduced to. Classic. Run, Forrest, Run.
Mhm.
Jedi.
Life is like a box of
Life
chocolates.
is like a box of chocolates.
Jumbo shrimp, sauteed shrimp.
I mean, bubblegum shrimp comp,
Yep,
dude.
yep.
I
Right
may
down
not
the-
be a very
in the Inner
smart
Harbor.
man, but I know what love is.
I know what love is.
We should have had Tim on just to do
Yeah,
Forrest
sure.
Gump.
One of the best, like another war-ish movie,
Mhm.
but like,
Ted, Dan, I got your ice cream.
bro, he fucking saved them bitches.
Yeah.
He saved them boys.
He did.
Ran.
Yeah, you were.
Except
He
Lieutenant
was
Dan
run, man.
didn't want to be
Yeah.
saved.
He wanted to die.
He wanted to die.
Hacksaw Ridge before Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, kind of. In a weird way.
Hats
In a
off
weird way.
Dan's bridge at the knees.
So, no, Forrest Gump is awesome. I love when, like, how Forrest Gump just kind of integrates himself in all these very historical moments, whether it's the Arkansas 5, also the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
He's on the Alabama National Championship team. Like, he's a
Big
fucking-
part of
Elvis
Elvis-
Presley
Elvis
learned
Presley.
how to dance from
That's
the
right.
man.
That's right. The smiley T-shirt, just so many.
Olympics.
The ping pong is so good. I just
And y'all
Drinking
said
Dr. Peppers
Elvis
at the White
stole
House.
from the black community. He stole from the crippled community.
That's right.
Get it straight.
just the one thing I hate about that movie is Jenny sucks.
Oh, she definitely
She's
sucks.
a hooer.
See,
She's
going
the
back, I'm
worst.
thinking about.
She's a hooer.
I'm thinking
Yes.
about our top villains, and you talking
She's
about
up there.
Titanic.
Yeah, Rose is
we-
number one for me
yes,
still.
But that's bringing
Jenny's
back now-
top 5.
Jenny, like she might. Maybe we need to revisit that. She
She's
might
the
be one of the
worst.
top villains.
She's
She
the
sucks.
worst.
She's horrible.
Yes, just the absolute worst. But
Yeah, he's
no,
still
but
loves her.
Forrest Gump is it's awesome. I love Forrest
What
Gump.
did she die from? AIDS or something like that, right?
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember,
That HIV, dude.
remember Sally Fields' mom begs the teacher, the school, the principal to get him into the school.
Oh,
yeah.
He goes, "Your mama loves you very much, son." As he's leaving, they were wrestling all night.
That's crazy.
That movie is in like the, what is it, like the film archive, like the
A5,
national,
yeah.
like it's
It's like an A5 top
being
100
saved for like ever.
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, Benjamin, you're back to back, bud.
All right. Man, I should have gone 2 now. I already made a mistake.
Nah, you're getting your favorite Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah, but I have. Am I? I have like 5 top movies, so I could have sat at 2 and still got my.
I think I what you're putting down. If you
That's why I'm
don't,
looking at it.
the
But
one,
at 3, Wilson. You have
Castaway?
You have to go Castaway. That might be the best like individual, just like acting performance by someone by themselves.
Yeah, when you
in
talk
a
about
movie.
like solo
like,
performance, it's up there.
It's up there.
For
It was amazing.
Let me think.
I'm more of a Martian guy myself.
Martian's another like
It's like I'm
solo.
fucking with you.
No, but it's the same
Good
concept.
movie, but
Like
Yeah.
solo, like you're the star. Carry this movie type
And
of
Free
deal.
Solo, by the way, wild. Climbing movie,
Yes.
yeah.
fucking insane. My palms are sweaty, knees weak, mouth
Oh,
spaghetti. Skipped a couple words.
Yes, you did.
It's that shit. All right, back to back. Very nice.
Yeah,
Castaway.
but I mean Castaway, amazing film.
You have the volleyball?
Did it all. The volleyball.
Wilson.
Wilson?
Yeah, you said Wilson. What about it?
I know. Do you have one?
I did not bring a volleyball with me today. No.
No props.
I did not want to go to Dick's and spend
Here,
$25.
put your
on
head down.
volleyball. I'll leave it.
Just red hand. Red hand.
I gotta say, I've only seen. I don't think I've seen
I've seen it
Castaway
once.
second time.
Yeah, I've seen it once.
Mostly
I've seen
because
it
like
twice, but it's still been a long time since I've seen it.
it was a hard. I'll be honest. It was a great movie. It was a hard watch the first time, just because like watching his struggle was uncomfortable. Unlike Weird Chris Martian, I've watched a million times. I felt Tom Hanks' struggle way harder.
Because you felt his struggle. You could feel what he was going through while you're watching.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
that
You were also
actual performance was.
in your 30s watching Martian
That's true.
versus 14 when you watched
Yeah,
it.
you know the struggle more now.
Fair enough.
When I was 14, I was like, yo, where the fuck is my blue version? I want to play fucking Pokemon.
Yeah. The first time I watched
Yeah.
Castaway, I was probably playing Pokemon while
Right.
I was watching it.
And then like he takes like the tooth out the skate and then just
Yeah.
he
Makes the fire,
Makes the
slices
fire.
his hand open,
Yeah.
like all
It's
kinds
a gnarly movie.
Dude,
it is a gnarly movie. That's the thing. Like you got to be like in it.
Yeah.
Same with like 127 Hours, the James Franco movie. Yeah, that's the same thing. Like those solo movies, like because they have to do some weird shit to
Yeah,
keep you engaged.
but I mean, the actor that he is, though, it all shines through in that movie. And
Yeah,
to
he was
me,
one of the few guys that
It's
could deliver.
definitely it deserves to be up in the top movies.
I'll say it's a little lower on my list, but I do not begrudge you for
Yeah,
taking
to
it
me,
early.
I mean, it's all personal opinion with this,
Yeah.
but it could have gone 1 to 6.
Facts.
All
for
right,
me.
all right, you were up again.
But yeah, so I love Castaway, and it's tough. There's 2 movies here that I really love. I'm gonna go with The Green Mile, though.
Oh my God,
Dude. Okay, you're leaving some heavy hitters on there, so.
I think I'm listing heavy hitters.
You are listening.
It's Tom Hanks. All he has is heavy hitters. Not
There-
all he has, but
All right.
I'm going right there.
I'll be interested to know where Dan goes, because if I get my top 2 on my board, I'll be very interested. Anyway, all right, Green Mile, love Green Mile. Talk about it, bud.
Love Green Mile. It's a great story. I haven't
Oh
seen
my
it
God.
in a lot. What, you forget about the movies that are still left?
Yeah, I don't know
Because
what
he
I'm
has
gonna
that
do.
many good movies. I'll list them all for you right now.
No, but it's just I don't know what I want to do now because I'm
Because
nervous.
I'm
I'm
sure
nervous
what you're
about
gonna
what
do.
you're gonna do now. Well, I think I know what you're doing in the next 2 movies.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it in a second. Green Mile was, I didn't know it was going to be so, is sci-fi the right word?
So I didn't know that at first either.
Or
And
what
you're
fantasy-
watching this and what
would
Michael
you
Clark
describe it as?
Duncan is going through.
I was trying to more, almost, maybe not sci-fi. Yes, sci-fi.
Yeah,
Instead,
I would say
I think
sci-fi.
it is categorized as fantasy.
Okay, because I can see why. I don't know, that's another debate for another time. I did not know kind of that going in. Because again, we were young. We were
Same.
like 10 years old when Green Mile came out.
Yes.
I'm actually surprised when
I also
people
thought
see
Michael
it.
Clark Duncan was like the biggest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It probably was.
Yeah. And I'm watching this and it's just like, wait, is this real? Is this like this can't be how is he doing this?
How
And
are
that's
you
what-
that?
This is when I was younger and it's just like, you realize this is fantasy. It's not real. This guy's actually freaking healing people.
Yeah.
But still, you look at this and there are crazy stories out there.
Mhm.
People
No,
claim this. But
Again, another really, and it was a little lower on my list mostly because, Duncan was.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, I thought Duncan was the bigger part of that movie.
I think of Michael Clark Duncan more than I think
That's
of Tom
that's
Hanks.
true.
So while it's still, but I have other movies in here too where Tom Hanks is definitely the second guy.
Yeah.
So and definitely.
And I guess I could have taken that in consideration when picking this movie. I just looked at Tom Hanks is still a very big part of that movie, and it's one of the best movies that he's been a part of.
Okay.
But there's definitely heavy hitters on here.
Okay. Fair enough.
Dan.
All right, Dan, you are up, bud. And there are some monsters still in the movie.
There really are.
Don't try to guess what I'm going to do. Just go with your.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Do what you want to do.
So, I think I'm going a little off the Richter here a little bit
Okay.
because, actually no. I'm not
I
gonna
was
do that.
feeling like I felt in the Keanu Reeves.
I'm not gonna do
right
that.
now.
I'm going. So, for me, this isn't one of his most notable. Like it is one of his most notable, but like when you look at his IMDb, it's not in his top 4.
You have to scroll a little bit.
You have to scroll a little bit. But I'm a history buff, love history. This movie is huge into history. I'm going Da Vinci Code.
Whoa!
I did
As
not
you were
see
describing
that
that, I did not think you were going there at all.
I had a
I'm
completely
going to
different
tell you my
movie.
next 2.
I had a completely different movie. In
Oh
mind.
man, okay. No, go.
So
Oh, okay.
I think I actually know what you're doing. But I'm going Da Vinci Code. Of the history ones, he does have a couple history movies.
Yeah, the one you were I thought you were talking about was the one I almost took in my last pick, but go ahead.
I will disregard.
Wow.
I love
I'm
this
shocked you
movie.
did that.
I love this movie.
Oh.
There's a couple on here that I was going to take, but actually I'm even more pumped about your reaction to this because
Then you might have another one falling.
I have one falling to me. I love the Da Vinci Code. I probably have seen this movie 20 fucking times. The cryptex, Leonardo da Vinci, the church, all that shit that's involved. It's so fucking awesome.
Like movies about like puzzles and like history and not treasure. I mean, it is about treasure because they're looking for the Holy Grail and things like that.
It's almost like a smart national treasure.
Exactly. That's exactly. Like European,
like a European,
an older European way. Yeah.
But I love this movie. It was essentially Indiana Jones meets National Treasure.
Yeah.
It's got the intrigue, the thrill, the excitement.
The Tom Hanks' hair is horrendous, though. We gotta say that. We gotta put it out there. Horrendous hair.
It's
Didn't
the
work.
character's hair,
For sure.
not
I'm
his.
just saying. bad hair, Hanks.
I love the. I know that the trilogy is not that great.
Oh my, and that's where maybe for me,
The Angels
and
Demons
it's
and
not fair.
Inferno and shit,
It's not
it
fair
sucks.
to it, but the next two movies are so bad.
It's so they're bad.
Which
They're
really stinks because
awful.
Da Vinci Code was a great
Because,
movie.
and I
You
think
can
that
name
devalues
drop
Da Vinci
them.
Code for me a little bit.
You can name drop them because there's no way we're gonna draft them.
So, yeah, Angels and Demons is the second
And the
one.
Inferno.
Inferno's the third.
That's the worst one.
I don't even know if I've seen Inferno. to be honest
Angels
with
and
you.
Demons is okay, but the Da Vinci Code was so good that it just made the other two.
I mean, you had to make them,
Yes.
and Tom Hanks was contractually obligated to make them.
Yes.
But I'm sure he probably was like,
Reading
God
it
damn
when
it.
it's written.
When he got that second script, he was like, oh no.
Yeah.
What's the third one? Like, oh no!
Ironically enough, of like the sequels and trilogies and shit that Tom Hanks does, this is by far like second and third are the worst.
Mm.
But the number one is really good.
All right, Tyler. Well, there's two movies on this list that I can make an argument for the number one movie of.
Yeah, the same here. So, all right, so I'm gonna go. My next two picks are I'm gonna go one at a time.
Okay.
Are also both history-esque movies.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
My first one's League of Their Own.
Sick.
Okay.
I-
I didn't see it going this early, but I
love League of Their Own. It might be. I have to do a baseball list, but it's top 3 for me, all-time baseball movies.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. It might even be number 1 if I really once I really sit down
Really?
and kind of crank it out.
I'm thinking maybe top 5. Definitely not top.
Like
5.
I had to sit down and think about it, but it's in the running.
Okay.
It's nominated.
My aunt and grandma went to the O's game last year where they showed the League of Their Own. And they got the hats and everything. It was
The peaches and stuff.
It was
Yes.
so dope.
No, I cannot love this movie more. So first of all, again, just like I'd love to say Rev Ryan because the supporting cast, I love the supporting cast here. We got Gina Davis, Rosie O'Donnell, Madonna. I mean, down the list. John Lovitz, even though he's not in the movie at the time, is fantastic.
You mean Roseanne Barr?
Roseanne Barr.
Not Rosie O'Donnell.
Bill Pullman is he also in the movie for a little bit, but he crushes it. I mean, just one. It's just a good baseball movie. One, the girls playing base, like it's good baseball. You get corny sports movies, and but the girls are actually like running, throwing, catching, and I appreciate that. And also just the again, I talked about the emotional heartstring pulls about Saving Private Ryan, where the mother collapsed on the porch. Same deal here, where they have the locker room scene where the guy comes to the post office and they have to go down the girls to get to the list. And then it gets to Gina Davis and Margaret, and then you're like, oh no! And then she breaks down, and every time I cry, break down in tears and cry. It was also a good movie too because it was one of the few sports movies where the quote unquote good team didn't win. They lost at the end. Gina Davis dropped the ball when her sister ran her over, so so that was like kind of a nice little twist, and just there's so many.
There's no crying in baseball.
There's no crying in baseball. And then when he's yelling at the umpire, like, you gotta respect someone only up here in this mirror. You look like a penis with a hat. Just so great.
Plus the longest recorded piss in cinema history.
So good. Roseanne's ties. There's the Tom Hanks lines. And I love how you just grabbed your crotch there.
It is Rosie O'Donnell, but I made the joke that it was.
Oh,
Rosie
that's
he slips it up on him.
That's right. That's right. Roseanne Barr. That's funny. No, and then just Gina Davis is spectacular. Anytime her and Tom Hanks were on the screen was captivating. When she's getting ready to leave and she goes, it's just too hard, and he goes, well, of course it's really hard. That's what makes it great. It's like one of those perfect lines that you can use in life for anything. He goes, the really hard is what makes it great. If it was easy, then anybody could do it. Like, it's just the perfect movie. It's emotional, it's funny, you cry, you laugh. It's awesome. I love that. I love League of Their Own, especially at the end when they bring the girls back and they show them the museum and things like that.
Yeah.
It's just, I love it.
Now, with the movie being that great, did you entertain the Amazon TV show at all?
No, I did not because I had no interest in it. I did not because I knew it was not going to come close. I don't want to spoil
watched
it.
a single episode.
No,
No offense to anyone, and I
have zero interest
in watching it.
Zero interest. All right, so for my next movie,
All right.
again sticking with the history theme, I'm going to go with Apollo 13.
Yeah, that's what it
That's
had
what
to
I
be.
thought.
Yeah.
It was gonna be.
The way you were talking.
Dude, I'm actually really happy that you took Da Vinci Code because I could get both these movies.
I didn't think you were taking the League of Their Own.
I fucking love. Yeah, that's. So Apollo 13 again. You talk about a monumental cast. You got Bill Paxton, Ed Harris, Kevin Bacon, just superstars at the time, and again, a movie that has funny lines, a movie that's emotional because you don't know if they're going to get back. And then I'll never forget the end when when they finally come back to Earth and they're underwater and they're trying to get radio contact with them and it's radio silence because they're just in the atmosphere. And when they finally say we're here, and just the euphoria from the NASA crew, to Ed Harris and the whole NASA crew, because all they just went through in the last 4 days trying to get these men back to Earth, where they make the contraptions so they can breathe, the math that they do. One thing is I just get a big respect for astronauts and NASA. They're all fucking insane geniuses.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that they're just, I can't even fathom. Like I'm a pissant compared to them. And so then again, just the relief that like when Ed Harris sits down, he's not even celebrating, but just the relief he had because of the emotional trip that he just took. Again, trying to get these men back. Nobody died. I fucking love Apollo 13. Again,
except for Bruce Willis, he ripped off Ben Affleck.
No.
Oh, that's Armageddon. Sorry.
That's Armageddon. Different movie. We'll do a Bruce Willis one later. But then again, Tom Hanks, Houston, we have a problem. That's like one of the marquee lines.
Oh, yeah.
And then, one of the guys talks about Harrison.
That might be one of the most famous lines of any.
It might be, but it's one of probably, yeah, absolutely.
Dude, that's another movie that I watched.
It's up there.
I watched it when it first came out. That I need to go watch again.
You need to watch it again. It's on TV
like
a lot.
All these movies you need to watch.
You seen Apollo 13 one time?
Yeah, the same.
Oh,
Very much like Castaway.
No, so
and I wasn't a fan. I'm not saying that I wasn't a fan. I think I was too young to appreciate it.
Watch it again. It's so good. It's on TV all the time. But there's another moment again with Ed Harris. There's like one of the computer guys goes, "This is gonna be one of the biggest catastrophes in NASA history." And Harris goes, "Actually, I think it's gonna be one of our biggest fucking triumphs. Is we're gonna get these guys back." And right there, you're like, "Let's go, Ed!
And that's what
Come on, man!"
Things.
Yes,
that's the biggest catastrophe ever. You
exactly.
have to look at the wins.
It's gonna be a win because we're gonna get them back.
Hell yeah.
No, so like I again, Apollo 13 is great. I hope you see it after more times because it's
I'll
phenomenal.
watch it probably this weekend.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
Alright, damn, where you get go? There's still some big movies on this list.
Speaking of that,
I didn't mean to do that. Damn it.
Speaking of that, I'm going big.
I didn't mean to do that. That is, yes. This is like one of the first Tom Hanks movies I remember watching.
This is the second. So it's actually the third Tom Hanks movie I've seen because I didn't realize Tom Hanks was the character in the second Tom Hanks movie I saw.
Gotcha.
But this is something that when I saw this as a kid, I could super relate to. As a kid, wanting to be an adult and then living out that life would be awesome. And then one of the most iconic scenes, the piano scene.
The piano, yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I was just talking to my mom about this, and I was like, yeah, I watched this as a kid, but I would love to grow up and be a toy reviewer and toy developer. That's a freaking dream job. I don't know why I didn't chase that.
Like, sick dream, dude.
But, yeah. Especially as a kid, like, why? Of course you'd be perfect for that job.
And then, like, his pad that he got with all the toys and stuff, that was so awesome.
It was.
As a kid, I was watching that. I was just like, "Holy shit, dude!"
Yeah, I just want a warehouse.
Trampolines, Nerf guns, basketball hoops. What the fuck? Yeah. That looks awesome. I want to be that.
Well, and then obviously the hot girl too.
And then you got a super hot lady as well.
Yeah.
Pretty good when you're 11, 12.
Better game than me.
Oh yeah. Actually, the best would have been the friend who didn't get to change, but he got to ride along with the entire.
That's still pretty. That's pretty sweet too.
That's a pretty sweet.
Pretty sweet kid.
That's a pretty sweet.
The entourage.
The entourage, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm going big. Third round pick.
Boom.
All right.
All right, Ben. Back to back.
Oh boy. With my third pick, this is the historical movie I thought you guys were talking about. I'm going Catch Me If You Can.
Ooh, that is not what I thought you were about to just say.
No? I'm going Catch Me If You Can. Leo kills it.
Yes.
Obviously, and as does Tom Hanks. I'm pretty sure just about everyone out there has.
My only problem, Tom Hanks' accent is really bad. And like, it's a forced accent that it isn't anything. It's not needed. Like, it seems like he just kind of was making one up, and he kind of did. Like, because I think he's from Chicago in the movie.
Hey, I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, and like, but it definitely wasn't a Chicago accent.
Yeah. That's one of the big questions you gotta go into every movie with, like, what accent is my character gonna have?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, that's with Forrest Gump. They had no clue what his accent was gonna be. And then there was like the kid they were going to like research that and everything.
You ready?
Rein it in.
Right. He went.
No.
Rated it.
Well,
No Tropic Thunder.
no, I was about to say that.
No
was
Tropic Thunder references.
And he did. He went.
Every time I watch it, it's just a great all-around movie.
I
And
love
yes,
Picture
it's
Man.
another movie I'm picking that's not all about Tom Hanks. Leo probably steals he steals the show in that movie. But
You have
Leo's
Tom
money.
Hanks' sole movie, and then you have 2 movies that Tom
that's
Hanks.
why I went solo Tom Hanks and then Tom Hanks on the side.
But that being said, the times where him and Leo are acting, you just have these 2 titans. It's captivating.
Amazing, yeah. When he comes into the room and then Leo's pretending to be the agent. Oh, you didn't think it was just the FBI
great.
following this guy, did you? And
So
the relationship,
wallet.
the relationship that they formed through this chase and everything throughout the movie is phenomenal.
It's a great movie. The soundtrack, when things about to go crazy, where it goes do do do, like that old 70s kind of like do 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 do, because that's when like something's about to happen. Like he's about to pull a fast one on somebody.
Chases the foot.
Chases a foot, correct. Also, let's go down the list that Leo slayed in this movie. He slayed Amy Adams, okay, slayed Jennifer Gardner, slayed Meredith Grey from Grey's Anatomy, slayed Elizabeth Banks. She was the bank teller that he hooked up with. I mean that's a good lineup.
That's pretty impressive.
That's a nice lineup he's got there. Not many better lineups in one movie, by the way.
Yeah, in one movie.
Especially for like an 18-year-old kid.
That's a good.
That's a knock on Tom Hanks, because we're talking about how many chicks Leo did in a Tom Hanks.
Tom wasn't in that role.
No. He was divorced. Remember, he
was not living as fun of a life as Leo was. In that movie.
Knock knock. Who's there? Go flog yourself.
All right, Ben. 4th round pick.
All right, and then. Wow, 4th round. It's really the 4th round before someone takes fucking Toy Story.
I was waiting for somebody to take it.
I needed you to take that, Ben. Thank you.
I had to. I thought it was going to be gone round 2 for sure. Toy Story. If you haven't seen Toy Story already, you're from another fucking planet.
I was going to say, then what are you even watching this podcast for?
It's Toy Story. Yeah. Stop watching this podcast and go watch Toy Story right now.
And also, it might be his best movie. I don't like when it's all said and done.
Woody's iconic.
Well,
Buzz Lightyear's iconic.
Buzz Lightyear, iconic.
I mean, there's a Buzz Lightyear movie that came out. There's not a Woody movie coming out.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But no, Toy Story might be Pixar's peak. Obviously, there's Finding Nemo. There's a billion. There's lots of stuff. They have a plethora of options.
Yes.
But some would argue, and I would listen to the argument of Toy Story being the number 1.
Especially, it's up there with like movie franchises.
That's what I'm saying.
Like not just Pixar, it's like all movie
time,
franchises all time.
It's a brilliant idea.
Yes.
It was gorgeous looking.
Especially for its time. For us growing
From
up.
like mid-late 90s.
Yes. Other animations.
Just a great storyline. I mean, and it was great. It was great. There's no way to put it. No, that's a good pick, Ben.
Yeah.
Especially in the 4th round. That's what we call good value.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a snake in my boot.
There's a snake in my boot.
Somebody poisoned the water hole.
So I'm actually going with this one, my 4th round pick. I'm actually going Tom Hanks's best Toy Story, which is Toy Story 2.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
It probably is the best one.
Damn it.
Which is
Woody's
best character development story, where he gets a rip in his arm. I'm just saying, that's like his biggest peaks and valleys in terms of character development.
You meet Jesse and you find out.
Well, Andy threw him away. And then he had to go and
find out Woody's backstory and everything. Toy Story 2 is the better movie. No
Toy Story, where you actually get to see the Toy Story barn.
Yes.
Like you saw in the commercial. The best thing about Toy Story 2 is the second Buzz Lightyear who thinks he's Buzz Lightyear.
Yes.
And so then they go, oh, not again. And they gotta try to convince him he's not Buzz Lightyear.
Yes.
And it's just brilliant. It's great that they got the Barbie dolls and the toys. Like, it's just perfect. The traffic cones. Now, one of the best parts of the whole movie, when they get the traffic cones and they waddle across the street and like they get off the other side, they go, I think they went pretty well. And they look back and there's just mayhem. There's cars crashed everywhere because they were trying to avoid the cones. It's just great. So funny.
The best is Slinky Dog has 2 cones.
He's got 2 cones.
Slinky's still showing.
Oh, that's great.
Hell yeah.
Toy Story 2 is a great pick.
Oh.
And I do agree, it's the best of the franchise.
Yeah, it is. It is the best of the franchise.
So,
Hell yeah.
okay.
All right, back to backers, Tyler. Finish them out.
Yeah, last
Okay.
picks.
I'm gonna stick with history. I
Okay.
mean, Tom Hanks is great with history. This one's probably a little off the cuff, but it's one of my favorite movies. Charlie Wilson's War.
Ooh, nice
okay.
pick, sir.
Good movie.
So I talked about this with Tom Hanks again, a good supporting cast. But when he has really good actors to he kind of bounce off with and combat with, and battle not so much like winner and loser, but ones that can be on the scene with him, like not just like a random Joe, but like one that can like go toe to toe with him in acting chops. It's gold. And watching him and Philip Seymour Hoffman in that movie is one of the greatest things ever. So like when Philip Seymour Hoffman first meets him, he meets him in his office, and then he goes, well, I bugged your liquor so I can hear what you're talking about. He goes, what do you think you are, James Bond? He goes, well, you're a terrible spy. He goes, well, you're no Thomas Jefferson yourself, sir. You're a senior congressman. And then again, it's right then and there. They just know, like, all right, this is about to be like they're about to just be the fucking Tits McGee.
They might be best friends.
They might be best friends. They were, and they had a very successful
become best
mission.
friends?
Yep. No, and then it was also just, I'll be honest. So, and I think I can speak for most Americans. There's definitely a blind spot in our history in like the 60s and the 70s, where like the end of the Cold War and the beginning of the Iraq War, like in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that.
Explaining like why, it explains kind of like what. And Charlie Wilson's War does a very good job kind of explaining what happened from the Cold War to the Iraq War and why it's set up and how these group of people were involved. And again, it's not just, and then I also just act like Julia Roberts is in this. She's fantastic. Amy Adams, another Amy Adams reference. She's in this. It's witty, it's smart, it makes you think, and then because also at the end of the day, it was a failure on America's part, because it led to Al Qaeda and different terrorist groups, because there's a vacuum of power once America pulled out, because they helped Russia lose, they helped the Afghans beat Russia, but when they pulled out, there was nothing left, and that's how these terrorist groups were able to rise. So you go, was it worth it? I don't know. Like, do you just let Russia run amok, or do you now create terrorist groups? Bada bing, bada boom. You don't know. But anyway, that's another discussion for another time. But the movie itself was, again, it was clever, it was smart, it was witty, good acting. I just love it. I love Charlie Wilson's War.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, 5th round. What do you got?
Okay. I'm torn here.
There's a lot. It's Tom Hanks, everyone. There's a ton of good movies he puts out.
There's 3 really good ones that I'm picking from right here.
This is my last pick, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm torn between 2. Because I have 4 left on my big board, but I'm
Same.
eliminating 2. And I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go Captain Phillips.
Yes.
Okay.
There's one left.
So Captain Phillips.
I am the captain now.
I mean that scene alone.
That was my.
I'm the captain now. It was a very intense, dramatic movie. And you start thinking about like how intense can you make a boat heist? But they delivered. They made it impactful. Yeah. Especially at the very end when they have the yellow submarine getting away with Tom Hanks in the Somalian pirates, and then the fucking snipers take them all out.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks is left alive, and you can just feel his like, because it's probably loud as fuck. All of a sudden, he's got 4 dead dudes around him, blood everywhere.
You feel the adrenaline
yes,
go pumping through the system,
and then he just starts like he just starts making sounds. He's not talking, just goes. And that's how a normal human being would react to
that. You're freezing up. Your parts of your body are locking up. You're
processing.
What to do.
You're trying to figure out what these guys are
You're
dead.
trying to process something
how did they die?
You've never seen before.
Exactly. How did they die? What just happened? No, and then the actual scene where the Somalians literally take the boat is very intense.
Yes.
Because you go, how does this little speedboat take on this tanker? Like just turn right and smush them. Like it felt like their defense systems were weak. They just said the hoses. Like I go, this seems pretty stupid. This is all we have to defend this tank which probably has a gazillion dollars worth of resources on it.
Right.
But again,
these pirates, they study, they practice.
no, they know it's their lifestyle. They
talk
talk about it at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
They do a good job explaining like the motive and like you talk about the experience that they have of how they do these things. It just felt like as a Western society, how he's so bad at this, not letting us being hijacked again by these little boats. But anyway, but again, just the I am the captain now. And then Tom Hanks just trying. Well, I wouldn't say it's one of his better points because it's kind of a generic thing, especially, but not until the end. The end is when you really got to see the brilliance of Tom Hanks. But just kind of him negotiating and trying to save his crew, and just again, kind of that father figure that Tom Hanks
He can
always
handle
is.
that role, man. That every man, that father figure.
Yes, yes.
That Tom
The
Hanks
guy's
was-
been on the job for 25
he was
years.
built for it.
Yeah.
He can just.
So I was.
That's what Somalians do, though. Like that's
That's
straight that Captain Phillips was talking about. Like when they fend them off the first attack, and then they're all meeting, like with like the whole crew's meeting downstairs. Like, hey, what should we do? Like everyone's freaking out, and Tom Hanks is like, well, we'll just stick to the plan. We fended them off before. We'll fend them off again.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Because I don't think they don't have any other options.
well, right.
Yeah.
It's not like they have like guns
Well,
themselves.
that's what Tom Hanks said. He was like, what do you want us to do?
We all
You know,
hired
100 miles this way,
mercenaries
100
and
miles this way, 100 miles this way, 100
Can't
miles
do
this
that.
way. There's 3 other bands of pirate bands around here. What are we gonna do?
Right.
But like that is Somalia is Nassau.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's the Caribbean.
Yeah.
That's pirate land.
Yeah.
They are the captain now.
They are the captain. So.
Hell yeah, Captain
So
Phillips.
again, I'm a little begrudgingly taking that because there's some that, but I'm curious on how it ends with you two, with your picks. So what you got next, Dan?
My 5th pick, fucking super pumped it got to me. Love this movie. Just watched it the other day. I'm going Sully.
Okay.
I fucking love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know how to freak out someone on a plane next to you? Watch this movie
While
you're flying.
like quietly unplug your headphones so it plays out loud.
This or Denzel Washington's Flight. With the
Yeah,
jump.
I love
Flight
50
was a
people
little
out on the
goofy
plane.
for me. The plane's like upside down. Like,
No,
Well, he was drunk. You gotta take me out of your verdict, dude.
yeah.
I'll like listen to my iPad or my iPod. I'll just be like, free falling while we're flying on the plane, and people are like, what the fuck? I scared the crap out of
Or
myself.
you just start singing like Christian songs like, I'm coming home. Like, where are you going? No, you're staying right the fuck here. You ain't going nowhere.
With home swaddle palm.
Lord, I'm ready. You ain't, no. Be ready Milwaukee, not now.
But Sully is legit as fuck. True story. Bird attack.
A lot of historical roles. That
Him and Leo, they are the historic people.
Bird attack on a flight
Bird attack.
in New York. Twin bird attack, essentially. Dual engine failure. They landed in the Hudson, and it's essentially the story about that shit. I like the way they did the movie too, where it's like they give you pieces of like his memory each time, and then like 20 minutes in, you get the full like from takeoff.
It was
or,
a
like,
well done movie.
from his like start of his whole day situation, and you get the full enactment of what really happened and like the shit that went down. But like, I get it. All 155 people died. I wish that they made it a little like not real, and like 3 people would have been like impaled or something. In the like, you know, they definitely just fell from the sky. So like, or like the dude who like swims away, the dude who like jumps off the raft first and starts swimming in the Hudson in freezing cold. Like, I wish he would have drowned.
You wish in real life he would drown, Dan?
No, in the movie he would have drowned.
He can't. It's based off real life.
Well, they
I
float
know,
shit
they
up in the
flub
movies
stuff
all the time. Like the one lady
But did
who
anyone
like
die
jumps
on
out.
that
No, he's
Exactly. So you can't just kill someone off of the.
But I'm saying they didn't
historical
need to
retelling
make
of this
it.
movie.
They didn't need to make it exactly like.
A couple of them could have suffered a little bit, right?
Yes, we could have done. We
Could have been a rush to the hospital because they were drowning.
Some bad sunburn when they got off the plane. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like, can
Sully-
someone hit their head with a
Sully
jumping
left-
out?
Right, yeah, hit their head.
What's up? God
How
damn.
cool to save someone from drowning? Yeah.
Get like some frostbite on their foot from the bay.
Would have been really sweet if during this whole
Probably
time
conditions.
Sully takes down terrorists.
Go down
At
to
the same
terrorists
time.
on the plane.
People watch a movie. I don't remember reading this in the New York
lands
Post.
it in the Hudson and then swims out and saves 5 people from drowning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the dolphin.
Yeah.
And
dolphin. In the Hudson.
In the Hudson, right.
And,
Don't ask questions.
and kills 2 terrorists, all while landing the plane with 2 engine failures.
And as they swing back, figures out Social Security.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom!
All right, so Dan's going with Sully.
Ben.
All right, Ben, you got, I got 1, 2, I got 4 movies first. You get 1 more.
I have one more.
Yep.
I'm taking, this is my mom's favorite Tom Hanks movie.
Okay.
One of my favorites as well. It's another animated movie, Polar Express.
Oh, good call. That was on my
Which
list.
is one of the top Christmas. What's the Christmas
I
movie?
actually really dislike Polar Express.
Do you?
I do.
Do you? So I'll you honestly.
It's weird.
The animation was a little weird for me the first time I watched it, and I wasn't the biggest fan the first time I watched it. I've now watched it multiple times, and I do really like it.
The only redeeming part for me in the movie is I really want hot chocolate after watching it. Like
You
that's
are
not
a
it.
hot chocolate fiend. So
Yes,
that
I am
makes
a hot
sense.
chocolate
A
fiend.
hot chocolate connoisseur.
Connoisseur.
But that's the only redeeming part for me in the movie. But if you and your mother love it and
Yeah.
it brings back Christmas memories for you, then God bless.
Boo your pig is what he's really saying.
It's okay. I don't
I
know
like
his picks either. It's like they're all good picks.
That was on my list as well as some other.
Okay.
animated
Well, also,
So many honorable mentions.
I was gonna say movies that we
movies.
left
All
off.
right, Road to Perdition.
Road to Perdition,
Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle, The
You've
Post,
Got Mail.
You got mail.
Philadelphia,
Philadelphia.
Toy Story 3 and 4 with Denzel.
Toy
Denzel's
Story
in
3
Philadelphia. 3 and 4.
The
Toy Story.
Terminal is
The
another
Terminal.
favorite of
Yep,
mine.
yep, yep, yep.
I love that movie.
So I mean,
Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch.
not
Hell
a
yeah.
good movie.
Honorable mention. Turner and Hooch.
Not a good movie, but it's fine. Listen, when you only have 3 guys, you know, if you had a 4th guy, those movies would have been picked.
Yeah, Turner and Hooch off the board.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Oh yeah, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. You know, so.
Wasn't the best.
But he
Wasn't one of my
is
favorites.
Mr. Rogers, so.
All right,
gotta
so
give
let's
him
do
credit.
a quick recap.
All right, so Tyler, you did Saving Private Ryan, A League of Their Own, Apollo 13, Charlie Wilson's War, and Captain
I
Phillips.
love my squad.
Dan, you got Forrest Gump, The Da Vinci Code, Big, Toy Story 2, and Sully.
Solid squad.
Ben, you got Castaway, The Green Mile, Catch Me If You Can, Toy Story, and The Polar Express.
Another solid squad.
Polar
I think we
Express
did a good
kills
job,
you.
guys.
What'd you say? I think The Polar Express kills you. It's like
It's definitely when you do like the ESPN like grades afterwards, that's when they go, that's a reach or
No, but it says mom's favorite pick. I get bonus points for it.
Hell yeah.
No, always go with mom's favorite pick. But that is the one where it says like biggest question mark, Polar Express. Will they even start week 1? You know? It's like,
Biggest question mark, Da Vinci Code in the second round? Oh my god.
those like draft recaps are always
Ends up being a Pro Bowler.
League of Their Own, Da Vinci Code in the second round, and then this
no,
guy
it's
takes
a League of
Polar
Their Own.
Express.
League of Their Own and to start
Good
the third
movie. I
round.
thought it went a little earlier than it went a little earlier than I thought, but
Agreed.
it also might not have
It was
made
on my
back to me.
list. I would have taken it like 4th.
It was
Dude,
on my
I
list
did.
as
When
well.
you start talking about history stuff, I was like, damn, it's gonna take one of my. It's gonna take Apollo or League of Their Own.
And as soon as you guys started talking about history, I went, oh my god, they're going to Catch Me If You Can.
So good.
It's not going to make it back to me.
So good.
And I was talking about going second because I would have gotten Catch Me If You Can, like coming back.
I thought you were going to take Big in your
I almost
second.
did.
Your
Oh,
second round.
yeah, it was a little lower down for me.
I thought you
But
loved Big.
I do like it.
Okay.
I really
The only movie that I
mean,
didn't
Tom Hanks. So.
the only movie that I had like ready to roll before it was picked was Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna go Toy Story 2 instead of Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
But you took it. You
I was
got
going to go, if you took Sully, I was going to take Captain Phillips.
it. Okay.
Do you even like Sully?
It's fine.
You had a weird reaction. You didn't have as good of a reaction as I wanted.
It's okay.
okay.
I enjoyed it.
I fucking love that movie, dude.
Yeah.
I like the Terminal more than I like Sully.
I might be more on Ben's side with that. Ben's my church, so that makes sense.
I think I've only seen the Terminal
I
once.
hate the Terminal. Hate the church.
All right,
No,
let's get out of
when
here.
you said, well, before you do, when we said that, you go, I'm bringing a holster full of ketchup to your church. And I go, oh, they're so sad. My people, no.
It's great.
Yeah,
They don't deserve this type of torture.
It's great.
It's like when they pour like fake blood on like fur coats.
Yeah.
Like to the animals. So funny.
go in there and start squirting. You zealots, get out of
And
here!
they're just like, no! Slow motion, they like the dramatic music back like, oh.
I've been stashing buckets of mayo in the rafters.
It's just gonna pour on
I
us
just
one
can't
day.
wait to pour it on.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I'm like, the heat, that summertime, the heat's gonna get to it.
Happy 4th of July, motherfuckers. So you admit you come to the minis. Interesting.
Another reason. That's another worst for 4th of July. Ben's hot mayonnaise.
Just mayonnaise. So.
No,
Alright.
that wasn't sexual, by the way.
It's been spread on 4th of July 2004.
I did not go there. But now that you said Ben's hot mayonnaise.
Well, when you say Ben's hot
I'm
mayonnaise,
just imagining mayonnaise being
he
shot
didn't
out
say
of Ben's
Dukes.
face.
He didn't say Dukes or Hellman's hot mayonnaise.
He said Ben's.
Dyke's hot mayonnaise.
Dyke's
Instead of
hot
Duke's
mayonnaise.
hot mayonnaise.
Gross! We need to get the fuck
Get the
out
fuck
of here.
outta here.
We're off the rails.
Yeah, we cut it before that, right?
No, we didn't, but that's fine. We're keeping all Ben's hot mayonnaise in there. Alright, guys. First of all, big shout out. Love you guys for following us all those years. 116 episodes is nothing to sneeze at. That's 2+ years.
Damn it.
Damn, Jake's your hiccup.
Please give us a like,
Give me
share, and
something
follow on all
to
of our
die,
social
please.
media accounts. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, individually and as a show. Again, the more likes and follows we get, it's better for us. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a subscribe. Also, again, if you're just a fan of the show, subscribe to YouTube. If you don't watch it on YouTube, just,
But watch it on
just
YouTube.
watch.
Put it on in
anyway.
the background.
Yeah, but
while
just-
you're watching the,
Anything to help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, we're going to get on out of here. We will be doing Transformers Rise of the Beast. So if you are into the harbor,
As soon as we all see it.
as soon as we all see it. On that note, signing out. This is your boy, T-Wade.
Benjamin Augustus.
And Danny Mac.
Keep living the dream.
Peace.
And Taco Grease.